Wow. I mean, what else do I even say? But wow. This was one of the worst underperformances. No, this was the worst underperformance which I have been an NBA fan for. The only one that even comes close would be the 2018 Houston Rockets meltdown, where they missed 27 straight threes. But even in that game 7, the Rockets, number one, still kept it close, and number two, they didn't have Chris Paul. They didn't have their second best player, so it wasn't unimaginable. These last two games, and especially game 7 by Phoenix, absolutely pathetic. I have never seen anything like this before. We may never see anything like this again in the NBA. I mean, that's probably not true, but like, holy crap. I can't believe what we just witnessed. That was so bad. Chris Paul in this game. I'm just gonna list off a few things that like really stood out to me. Some crazy, ESPN stat pieces. Chris Paul in this game only had 2 points throughout the first 3 quarters. He finished the game with 10 points. He only had 2 throughout the first 3 quarters. They were already down by like 50 by the time he started scoring. Pathetic. Pathetic. I do not like Chris Paul as a person. I mean, like, I don't like really dislike him as a person, but like, he's an annoying player to watch on the court, right? He's not someone I naturally root for. However, I do respect his game. I respect the fact that he is one of the greatest point guards this league has ever seen, and I was ready for him to win a ring. I was in support of that. I think he'd earned it, and I've been saying for years that Chris Paul is an underrated playoff performer. He is not the choker that everyone thinks he is. Well, I'm certainly not going to be able to say that shit anymore. Oh my goodness. This man was so bad in the end of this series. What on earth happened to him? And I know that there was something where, like, apparently his hamstring was bugging him at the end of Game 7. I don't care. I gotta be honest, I don't care at this point. Unless the man had a broken leg, you cannot excuse the way he played through the last, 4 games of this series. Absolutely embarrassing and just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Devin Booker was also terrible in this series. As a whole, the Mavericks guarded him incredibly well. He did not look like the superstar many people have been saying he was coming into this season. Mikal Bridges underperformed, DeAndre Ayton underperformed, and at this point, it looks like DeAndre Ayton is going to be leaving the Suns. He played 17 minutes in that final game. There were some comments afterwards about internal struggles, and just based on his body language, how he played, and what everyone's been saying, I don't see any way this man comes back. I do not see any way Phoenix gives him this contract extension. That was ridiculous. I can't believe. I still can't. I'm recording this a day later. This is maybe hitting me harder than the Sixers losing to the Heat, because at least then it wasn't something completely out of the question for Philly to do that, and we had a bunch of injuries and stuff. I can't believe Phoenix came out and just wet the bed against the Mavericks. This was a great matchup for them. Dallas had lost 10 straight games to the Suns coming into this series. I believe it was 12 straight after Game 2. And they came back and they won the series. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Luka Doncic is insane. Whether or not he makes the finals this year, if he pushes his team past the Golden State Warriors, it would be even crazier. But he just averaged 33, 10, and 7 in this series with 2 steals. And he was pretty efficient. He shot about 48% from the field. It was insane. We need to start talking about Luka's legacy. Seriously, especially if he makes the finals, and holy crap, it's not even completely unthinkable for them to win the title after beating the Suns. Now, I'm not betting on the Mavs by any means, but who knows? Who knows at this point what could happen? It doesn't seem like anyone can guard Luka Doncic properly. His legacy is going to be crazy after this playoffs. We really got to start talking about him in that top 75 conversation. This is huge. But the Mavericks as a whole, I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie stepped up. Jalen Brunson was very good for stretches in the big moments. Maxi Kleba stepped up. He was incredible. He really showed the value of just having a stretch five out there, even if the defense wasn't great. And he played pretty solid defense in this series, I will say. He really impressed me with the defense he played against the Suns. But his offense was really what did it in both this series and the Utah Jazz. That was a huge, huge factor in the Mavericks offense being as good as it was. And their defense was great. Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, absolute clamp jobs, masterclass by both of them. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can't believe we're looking at a game where I'm gonna come back to this, just like what a joke the Phoenix Suns were here. I can't believe we're looking at a game where the home team lost by 43 in a Game 7, and that actually makes the game look closer than it was. Because realistically, sorry, not 47, 43, 123 to 90. That is a 43-point gap at the end, and that actually makes the game look closer than it was. At one point in the third quarter, Luka Doncic had 30 points, and the Phoenix Suns as a team only had 27. He outscored the entire team by the start of the third quarter. What? Wow. Wow. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This was insane. Unfortunately, this is a huge hit against Chris Paul's legacy. It's not going to de-rank him for me because I don't generally you really have to have a special circumstance where I'm going to knock a player down in the all-time ranking, but man, you had an amazing season here to really make some incredible cases for both Booker and Paul's legacies, and they blew it. They completely flippin' blew it in this series. Played like absolute dog water. Wow. An absolute joke. I'm very excited to see the Warriors versus the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. My money is on the Warriors, but at this point, I'm terrified to bet against Dallas either. Who knows what Luka could do against a backcourt of Curry, injured Klay Thompson, or post-injury Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole. He might average even more points on even better efficiency. I think the Warriors are a better matchup, from a Mavericks point of view. I think the Warriors are a better matchup for Dallas than the Suns were. They are an easier matchup for them. Now, I presume that the Warriors are not going to have a frickin' choke fest like the Suns just did, but nevertheless, if they beat the Suns, they could beat anyone, realistically at this point. So whether it's going to be a Mavericks-Celtics finals or a Warriors-Celtics finals, let's be real, the Heat don't have a chance against the Celtics. It's probably going to be a 5-game series, maybe 6 if Boston really, really underperforms in one of the games. But this is crazy. These playoffs are insane. I will be definitely dropping some kind of video about Giannis tomorrow or the day after. And, well, it hurts to be a Sixers fan right now, but hey, at least I'm not a Suns fan, am I right? I'm sorry. Anyone from the Phoenix area, I really do feel bad for you right now. I've never seen a team crumble like this one did. That's gotta hurt.